Welcome to the Raise Your Bars podcast, where it's all about elevating your life one step at a time. With your hosts, Chris Baker and Al Rattan. Together, we're here to guide you through the transformative journey of self-improvement and success. Have you ever wondered what behaviors and actions you need to change to achieve the results and success you desire in life? Well, you're in the right place. Each episode, we dive deep into the strategies, mindset shifts, and practical steps you can take to raise your bars. From personal development to professional growth, Chris and Al share their expertise, experiences, and the occasional tough love, all designed to empower you to reach your full potential. So, whether you're looking to make a big change or simply fine-tune your path to success, grab a seat and let's raise those bars together. Now, let's welcome your hosts, Chris Baker and Al Rattan.
Well, everyone, welcome to another edition of our podcast. We're excited to be here. I hope you're excited to listen in. Chris, how are you doing down there? I guess Florida had a little bit of a hurricane.
We had a little bit of one. It's fortunately for us, it didn't really impact too much, but it did along the coast and up into Georgia, which is obviously thoughts of go out to people that are affected by it. But
it's unfortunate.
Part and parcel of living in this part of the country. So
we get blizzards in the snow and stuff in the winter, and you get you get hurricanes. So
yeah,
I don't know what's worse. Hurricanes last a lot less time than the winter.
They do.
So, yeah. So hey, so we're here to record our podcast again tonight. We've been going through Bob Proctor's book, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. And if you haven't heard the past couple episodes, go back and listen. But Chris and I both read this book, and now we're going back through and sort of studying it and picking out parts that really sort of hit home for us. And we're coming on here now to discuss them. And tonight I want to start by reading one quote, and then we're going to talk about goals. Now, if you've been listening to us for a while, you've probably heard us talk about goals lots. But here's something. We're 8 months into 2024, and I know many people that are listening, and even you and I probably set some goals or some targets back in December, January, New Year's resolutions that, hey, we're going to do better this year. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do the other thing. And, studies show that about 80% of people give up on those resolutions by the end of January. And only about 8% of people actually carry through the full year and finish those resolutions. So why am I talking about New Year's resolutions? Well, we're 8 months into the year. We still have 4 months left here. September, October, November, December. 5 months left here. 5 months left to set some goals now that are achievable for the end of 2024, so we can start 2025 on an even better footing than we are right now. So today we're going to talk about this a little bit, and first I want to quote here in Bob's book. He quotes somebody. He says, "All success is 5% strategy, 95% mindset." And I would say that the reason why people don't stick with the New Year's resolutions, their priorities. This was a priority to you on December 31st, but by January 30th, it's no longer a priority. Is because we've not properly prepared our mindset for what's involved with actually achieving that goal.
Yeah.
Or that resolution.
Yeah. And I think the sort of end of the paragraph just before that quote, Al, is sort of relevant too, because when he's talking about people growing and moving towards what they want to move towards, he says the truth is you're starting to do things the right way, but only a very small percent of the population is actually doing it the right way. And this is the 95-5 again. He said about 95% are trying, but only 5% win. Right. And so then again, it's that's where the lady in Germany was like, success is 5% strategy and 95% mindset.
Yeah, that really is so good.
Yeah. And And so again, I think people they set out and they try and they say, yeah, I'm gonna do this. But do they, again, I'll go back to what I've said before, do they want to do it, really want to do it, or just do they want to do it? Right.
Yeah.
So is it
Yeah.
something that they were like, well, that'd be really cool if I could do that, but I'm going to give it like 5% effort and 5% of my mindset is going to like say, yeah, I'm going to go for it. Or is it something that they truly want and their mindset is, I am going to make this happen, whatever, right?
Yeah.
The latter is what will carry people forward. The former is why people fall away. And again, we're guilty, right? We're not
Oh,
perfect. We
100%.
haven't necessarily achieved what we wanted to do. And again, as I look at it and I think, well, is that really something that I wanted to do? You know, and I've shared before, like we, you know, several times we get older. Obviously, we tend to put on weight easier, and it takes harder to take it off, right? And
Yes, it does.
you know, I think I remember telling you guys on the podcast last year, probably about this time last year, you know, I bought a gym membership, and I was like, I'm going to get fit, and it was like $30 or less, just less than $30 a month. The gym was maybe 5 miles from the house. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get down there. You know, 6 months later, I cancelled that membership because I think I'd been 3 times in that 6 months.
Yeah.
So, what was my obstacle? Right. Well, again, the obstacle was, well, I have to get changed. I have to get in the car. I have to make a physical effort to get there. It's probably busy when I get there. It's loud. It's not. I don't really necessarily enjoy the atmosphere. And then I come home. Then I have to get showered and do it. And so, what would maybe be like a 30-45 minute workout ends up being like an hour and a half plus commitment, right?
Right.
And I wasn't
Right.
prepared to make that commitment. My mindset wasn't right. I didn't want it badly enough to overcome the pain, if you are not physical pain, but the mental pain, the whatever, the strain of actually going and doing it. That was greater than the gains I was going to get mentally from actually doing it.
Right.
Right.
And I agree. And like, you know, and so, hey, folks, there's no judgment from us on this topic. I committed to reading a book a month in January.
Mm.
I'm about 3 books behind right now.
Yeah.
So I've got some catch up to do, right? And again, takes the discipline, takes
Mhm.
the right mindset, takes the prioritizing my day, my time
Yeah.
that I have available to read, to actually spend that time reading. So again, there's no judgment, but we're coming alongside you tonight to encourage you
Right.
and try to maybe give you even that gentle push that maybe you need to set some of those hard goals
Mm.
and work towards them and plan it out and strategize how you're going to achieve that goal
Yeah.
by the end of 2024 or be well on your way to achieving it by the end of this year, and you can continue working on it next year.
So, Alan, I know you've got like a point to go on to with the ABC goals, but before you do, just because my memory, like it comes in and it goes pretty quick, right? So I have to talk when it comes in. The good thing with yourself, right? Yes, you said you committed to reading a book a month, right? And you're 3 books behind, but that means you've read 4 or 5 books, right? How many people have read 4 or 5 books this year? And we're not talking novels, right? We're not talking,
Nope.
you know,
Nope.
romance novels or comedy novels or thriller novels or whatever.
This
We're
one, I got
talking
this
books
one.
that
I've
would change your
Yep.
life, right?
Yep.
And I also look at mine, and here's the thing that, you know, I shared the gym, which ended up being what I thought would be a cheap thing, was actually a, you know, like a couple of $100 sort of learning. The thing is, I learned from it, right? And
Right.
so I did look at it and I said, well, did I really want to do it badly enough? What is my priorities? And weight control, let's call it weight control rather than weight loss, is a priority, right? I want to do it. I want to be healthier. So actually I've been working on that in terms of eating and walking and so on. And then I actually I saw these adverts, they come up. It's amazing how social media brings it up, but these adverts for like the chair workout, right?
Right. Yeah, I've been seeing
So
it. Yeah.
so I went in and I jumped in and I signed up for an app on that, right? And And I can tell you, so it comes up, and on my app it's part of my morning routine now, right? After I've done my meditation, put the coffee on, and say I'll go and do this chair workout, and it's 7 minutes. That's all, but it's every single day, right? And it's on the app, so it's part of my routine. I open it up, I press start, and I do this 7 minute workout. Um, I've done it. It said the other day I've done it for 50 days consecutive,
Wow, good for
right?
you. That's
And
awesome.
whilst people will say, okay, well, you can't maybe don't do a lot in 7 minutes. I'll tell you what, it has definitely I've lost some fat, I've toned up a little bit, I feel better. And so it is making a difference. And now I'm starting to lose a bit of weight again as well, right? But I'm still eating like normal. So the moral of this, right, is there's more than one way to achieve what it is you want to achieve. And if you want it badly enough and you take time to actually think about what's gone on and why you haven't done things in the past that you wanted to do, and then work out how can you make it work, you can make it work.
Yeah. And I think the second moral to that story is don't beat yourself up if you don't actually achieve one of the goals you set out to. Learn from it, reevaluate, reset, and
Exactly.
re-enter, right?
Yeah. As
Re-enter.
long as you learn from it and then go
Exactly.
again, right?
Exactly.
And it could be that your learning is that goal really wasn't a goal. It wasn't
Yeah.
something you wanted. Well,
Yeah.
okay, what is? Right? And then find
Exactly.
that thing and then work towards it. So,
Right.
yeah.
So Bob in his book here talks about A, B, and C type goals, and I'm just going to start with the A type goals, and Chris and I'll give you a few thoughts on it. We'll go to the B's and then go to the C's.
Yeah.
So his A type goal are doing what we already know how to do. Okay.
Mhm.
Not now, goals are not for getting. Getting is merely a byproduct. Goals are for growing. Goals enable you to draw on this marvelous power that you've got locked up within you.
Yeah.
So an A-type goal could be I'm going to read a book a month. And what am I going to do from that? I'm not getting physically, so I'm gaining knowledge, right? I'm growing as an individual so I can better serve my clients, better serve you, Chris, better serve my community, right? I'm growing from it. That's an A-type goal. I know how to do this. I know that if I set aside some time and I read 10 pages a day, that's enough. That's a 300-page book a
Mhm.
month, and most books are not 300 pages anymore,
No.
right? So there's I know how to do this. It's for growing myself so I can better serve others. That's an A-type goal for me, as an example. So what would yours be? I'm not sure if I'm asking you, Chris, if you want to comment on this, or I'm asking
Mm.
your audience. What would your A-type goal be? That one that you know how to get. You just haven't been intentional enough to go out and get it.
Yeah. Again, you could look at weight loss, you could look at fitness, right? That I've shared examples of.
Mm-hmm.
You could look at reading a book. You could look at um, cutting down the amount of time you spend scrolling on your phone. Right, all of those things you know what to do. Right, all of those things you've probably done at some point, and then
Right.
let that habit slip, so you know how to do it. That's the point there, right? It's yes, you will, if you do it, it will benefit you, but you're not necessarily growing because of that. You are with your reading your book because of the type of books you're reading. Right? I think there's a difference there.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but yeah, that's the thing. It's like you know what to do, you know how to get it, just go and do it.
Yeah. So the next type of goal, though, is where really it's going to start stretching you a little bit and probably pulling you out of your comfort zone. A B type goal is something a person thinks they can do,
Hmm.
thinks they can do. So like an example uses if this person pays me what she owes me, and if this happens to, and if this happens and that happens, I could actually do this. That's the B type goal. You can see how to get there. You can see how to get there. So, what would maybe a B type goal example be for you, person listening to this podcast? What
Yeah.
would be a B type goal, right? I think I can get clients to fill my next class for the sales boot camp I'm running, right? And if everything lines up, it'll happen, right? I know how I can see how I can get there. I just need to go out and make the effort to get people into the
Mm,
class. And that involves me picking up the phone,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is the belief, right? So it probably is
Mhm.
it probably is a stretch, a slight stretch, right? But it's one that you believe is possible, and therefore you will you will probably follow the right steps and paths to make it happen. Because again, it's maybe not going to require 100% effort or 95% effort. It might require 80% effort, right?
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I think that's a good sort of example. And again, it
Right.
could be, you know, something for me. It could be, you know, if I ran a if I'm currently running a 5K because I'm a little bit out of shape, so I'm probably running a 5K in like which is 3.1 miles, probably in about 28 minutes. Right. I know that a couple of years ago I ran one in 26 minutes. Right.
Yep.
So I think I could do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If I do the training and, you know, watch my weight, you know, I believe I can do that because I've done it before,
Yeah.
right? So it's something I believe I can do.
And that's the if this happens and that happens, I can
Right.
actually do this thing, right? So that's your B type goals. But here's the C type goals are the scary ones. These are those
Yeah.
big, hairy, audacious goals that scare the crap out of you. Okay. The C type goals involves something you have no idea how you're going to get. It's off in the dark. It's beyond anything you've ever done before, but it's what you want. No idea how you're going to get there, but it's what you want. And I'm gonna Chris and I want a 7-figure business. We have a product, a service that could add so much value to so many businesses besides the ones we've already worked for, but growing it and scaling it to help us create a 7-figure business. I want that. It scares me. I have no idea how we're going to get there, but that's what we want. And again, we don't want it so to line our pockets. I'm very content living in my house. I don't want a mansion. No desire to have a mansion and more rooms. And the only reason I would want to, if we did to it, was to have somewhere for people that need to go and stay for a temporary play. Right. That's the reason my wife's
Mm,
biggest desire is to help people that are struggling financially with drugs, with alcohol, with some kind of, you know, a relationship they need to get away from. If we had 20 rooms in our house, they would probably be full of people that my wife brought home.
yeah.
Right? Because that's her desire. That's the only reason I would. And Chris and I have a desire to create wealth so we can help those in need, to
Yeah.
be a greater good in our communities, in the world at large. And that's really the only reason, desire we have it. And so this is why that 7-figure business is important to us. And this is why we want it, because we want to be able to do
Yeah.
good in the world.
I take it further out, you know, if I may, because again,
Yes, of
Proctor
course.
says in here, you've got to really want it.
Hmm.
Right. So just to say you want something is not enough. You got to really want it. You've got to want it so badly that you know what it will feel like to achieve that. Right. And for Alan myself, for those of you listening, it's the money is a byproduct, right?
Absolutely.
The money will be a measurement of that success, if you like, but it's not why we're doing it. And the it's a byproduct of the fact that we want to help as many people as we can. And so, you know, Al shared last week his screensaver that he put on his phone, and to be honest, it's on my phone as well now. Right, and I'll read it out to you to say what it or what we want is we're saying we have a brand name that is highly regarded worldwide. Right, that's really what we want, and it will bring in recurring revenue to our bank account from a variety of sources on a consistent daily basis. But why do we want our brand name to be widely regarded worldwide? It's because we know that there are struggles going on in the world. We know that there are businesses that are going bust every single day.
Yeah,
We know
Big
that,
Lots just filed for bankruptcy in the US there.
oh, right.
Hundreds of stores, hundreds
Yeah.
of stores.
Yeah, we know that people are struggling financially personally, right? We
Mhm.
know that people are leaving companies because of the lack of leadership talent within those companies, right? So we know that if we can go into a company and help them to raise their bars, right? To put in practice the things that we teach, not only will it secure that business, but it secures the future of their employees, which in turn secures the future of their families, right? Which in turn gives their kids the opportunity and the motivation to get on and do something more with their life. And we know that if we can influence and impact enough business and enough people, it will help the economy. Right now, we're not saying that we are going to be the difference makers in the economy of the world, right? But why not? All right. That's why we
Why not?
want to do what we want to do. And when we do that, we know that will bring in a seven-figure business, which will enable us to give back. Right. Like Al says, like you and Marge to help people in need. Vicky and I would probably do something with animal shelters, right? We would probably continue to donate to food banks like we do Second Harvest Food Bank here, because it like saddens me that there are so many people in this day
Yeah.
and age in the developed world that are hungry,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah.
is ridiculous. And so we do what we want to do and we get what we want to get. We will be able to help and give back to other people. That's why we want it.
Absolutely. And Chris, I'm just going to close with this. He does talk in this chapter as well about creating or disintegrating. He goes, create or disintegrate. If you're not going ahead, you're going backwards. So what goals have you set? What do you want to work on? What do you really want? What do you really want? It's in you. It's bugging you every day. It keeps
Yeah.
coming to mind. What is that you really want by the end of the year? And then I want to quote Robert A. Heinlein, a science fiction writer, because in the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until we ultimately become enslaved by it.
Yep.
What's the daily trivia that's enslaved you? Is it social media? Is it TV? Is it golf? Is it like what's enslaved you that's keeping you from having that clearly defined goal set out, working towards it, focusing on it so you get what you really want?
Yeah. Yeah.
Spend
That's
some
good.
time reflecting on that this week, folks.
Absolutely.
I think
Good
we'll wrap
stuff.
it up there.
Yep.
Right. Have a great week. Take
Bye,
care, all.
everyone.
Thank you for tuning in to the Raise Your Bars podcast. If you found value in today's episode, please consider sharing it with your family, friends, and coworkers. We would sincerely appreciate it.